What is going on, players, and welcome back to Relegation Rescue with me, FoggyPlays, on FM21. Today we're going to find out, have we survived as Newcastle? It's the final game of the season, and maybe we have survived, maybe we haven't. Comment down below, do you think we've survived or not? If you do want to enjoy this episode, do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. There will be more of these, not with Newcastle, but there will be with some other clubs in the future. So if you want to be notified when those go live. I also have Hungry for Success, which is another series I am doing on my channel. It's quite a good series, I would say, anyway. Personally, I'm quite enjoying it. But yeah, let's get into the video and see how we survive. Right, fellas, so we're taking on Sheffield United today in the final game of the league season. As you can see from the form, it's not been going great. We beat West Ham in the last episode, but then we lost to Liverpool. We were shocking. Beaten by Fulham. We were absolutely horrendous. Although all their goals were scored from set pieces. So that makes me feel a little bit better. We had a friendly against Alfreton and we played really, really well in that, which springboarded us to beat West Brom for only our third league win of the season, which was quite nice. As you can see, Jeffa Tanganga scored a hat-trick, 10-minute hat-trick, all from corners, or it was all set pieces basically. I think he scored 2 headers from corners and 1 from a free kick, if I'm not mistaken. Ryan Fraser also had a goal and 3 assists, so that worked out quite well for him. Then we got absolutely shit-stomped by Man United. We held up quite well for the more or less first half. Then they got a penalty, and that was the end of that, and they smashed us. Again, we had I just threw another friendly in, hoping that would help some bit with the players feeling better about themselves, because we were really going through a bad run of form. Didn't really work. We did draw with Arsenal. Arsenal weren't great. There was very, very few highlights, so it wasn't an overly interesting game. And then we got to the game against Leeds. This was the most important game, because this was the one that decided if we got relegated or not. And unfortunately, we lost 3-1 and got relegated, which obviously meant that we smashed Leicester 4-2. Quite a comfortable victory. Jonas Wynn did miss a penalty, so still yet to score his first league goal. I think he's only scored in friendlies so far. And then we beat Crystal Palace 2-0. Again, because we were already relegated, players just seem to be playing with a bit more freedom now. Liverpool have won the league as well. West Brom have gotten themselves relegated. But Sheffield United and Leicester are still duking it out for survival. So we could relegate Sheffield United today. Right, so as it is, we are taking on Sheffield United. As I said, going to be the ones to try and stop them from surviving. But also Leicester take on Liverpool. So if Sheffield United can get a result against us, they do need to win. So I can't imagine Leicester are going to beat Liverpool, but there's always a chance. You never know what's going to happen. They're champions, so I would imagine they're going to do quite well against them. But we're going into this game with a relatively strong side. There's been some transfers, like Fernandez, because we got relegated, decided he wanted to leave. He's going back to Argentina. He is going back to Defensa. We've a lot of interest from clubs for like Fraser. St. Maximin had interest, but seems like it's already dissipated. Isaac Hayden, Almiron has interest in him as well. So an awful lot of players potentially leaving. Dubravka has picked up his form recently with the couple of games we've had that have been quite good. Karl Darlow actually played really quite well for like 2 games. He's been bang average at best, to be fair. Since the relegation has been confirmed, I've just said fuck it, and we're playing 4-4-2 or 4-2-4. So, and it's worked. So that's been interesting. It's also been quite frustrating, because we could have been using this and potentially winning games, and I just didn't think we would be able to. We're going into this game. Just, we've nothing to lose. We're already relegated. I failed at my first attempt. Let's see what we can do next season with the next club. Smith and Lewis are going to be playing as our wing backs. Roden and Lascelles as our centre backs. Willock and Longstaff as our central midfield. Fraser and St. Maximin as our wide men, with Wilson and Vind starting up front. Unfortunately, Tanganga still injured after his he got injured the game after his heroic hat-trick. It's a little bit disappointing. The other club that we were going to potentially take charge of actually got relegated as well. They didn't survive. But they look like they were properly relegated. Like, they didn't score too many points because they had, I think it was Valvoid in Spain. I think they had 9 points as well, but they had like 14 games played, and they looked like they had a slightly better chance of getting promoted or staying in the league. So that's why I picked Newcastle, because they were 16 games in and they were a little bit further down in the league away from survival. But Valverde have already confirmed their relegation as well. I think it was the same day we confirmed our relegation. So it was a little bit interesting that the two teams I was considering both got relegated same day. Or well, it was the same couple of days. I don't know if it was the exact same day, but you know, it's one of those things. Wasn't too far off. But we're going to find out after this episode. It's going to be a couple of days before we do the next episode, because it'll be a different club, different season. We'll see how we're getting on. Probably won't be an English team, but I don't want to go back and simulate the first. Oh, Jonas Vint just puts that wide. It's not going to be. I'm not going to go back and redo like the. It's not going to be the same season. You know, we just pick whatever club is bottom of the league again, because that would be boring. I want to do just a couple of different ones. We'll see how we get on. I want to try and get some team surviving, because if we fail again, then I'll be a little bit disappointed, because I'm not the worst football manager in the world. I'm not the best, but I'd like to think that I've the ability to save teams. Newcastle, I don't think we. Oh, what are you doing, lads? That is exactly why you got relegated. Lascelles and Rondon just kind of. No, not Rondon. That was Lewis. I two of them just were like, oh, you go for the ball, you go get the ball. Neither of them went for it. So we end up conceding. We've had 10 shots, only 2 on target. Our strikers are struggling today. Matty Longstaff picks it up, and Enda Stevens was there to quite comfortably head it away. Sander Berge finds Mousse, finds Sander Berge, and we're 2 down. We're already relegated. We're trying to get Sheffield United to survive. We want Sheffield United to stay in the Premier League next season, because we feel bad for them. So that's what we're going with. Bournemouth and Reading actually were the 2 teams that automatically got automatic promotion, shall I say, from the Championship. The remaining team hasn't been decided yet. I think they still have to play the final, but it's Blackburn and Brentford, I think it is. So just interesting couple of teams could be playing in the league next season. Yeah, we're actually going to bring on Fede Arp for Vind, because Vind was not very good. Is there anything else I want to change? Willock, Lascelles, Smith, all struggling. I think Lascelles is the next one on the chopping block. He originally wasn't actually going to be starting this game. So, interesting that he's the one that made the mistake for us to concede that first goal. Because if I had just stuck with the original 11, it would have been Kieran Clark in there instead of Lascelles. Why Callum Wilson isn't taking the shots beyond me, and Ramsdale manages to make a save. Sheffield United would have been much better off this actual season in real life if he'd done that a bit more. But Fabian Arp, no, Fede Arp, no, Fabian Arp was a player I had in my Hertha series last year. That's why I keep mixing up his name, Fabian and Fede. Matty Longstaff, though, is coming forward, finds Fraser, who's been really quite good recently. As you can tell from this game so far, not been amazing. But like I said previously, we are just trying to make sure that Sheffield United survive. You know, we sent out a weekend side, in the hopes that Sheffield United would stay in the Premier League for next season, because we'd prefer if a previous. Oh, what a save by Dubravka! Couldn't have done that previously, you know. Dubravka conceded some of the most ridiculous goals so far this year, and he actually saves that one, which is frustrating. Baldock headed over the Sheffield United side, playing quite well. The fact that we're at home and they're just pushing our shit in, it's a little bit annoying. Lascelles, you're playing terribly, so you're coming off. Kieran Clark's going to come on and hope that maybe he can do something different. We're not going to score from this corner. Baldock is clear, has two players with him, but Lewis clears it. Arp. I don't know how he managed to miss both the ball and the player there, but he did. St. Maximin cutting inside. Aaron Ramsdale. It's like the ball is magnetic and his gloves are magnets. That is ridiculous. We're going to break the lads because this isn't good enough. We're going to make our final substitution in charge of Newcastle, and we are going to bring on Daniel James. But put him to inverted winger on support because, he has been fine when he's come on. He's had one game where he ran with the ball, did fairly well, and after that, since then, I've been kind of like, he's probably our best left winger. I know he's not, because St. Maximin, definitely our best left winger. But ever since he did that, I'm like, that was pretty decent. But we're just not gonna win this game. Pretty simple. Yeah, Jaden Bogle smashes the ball in. George Baldock has been having an absolute terrible game. Manages to get an assist against us. Yeah, even a player who's not playing well is still playing better than we are. So we're just going to go very attacking because we've nothing to lose. We're literally going to finish 19th regardless of what happened in this game. Makes no difference to anybody. But I do want to, not get absolutely destroyed. No, just gonna, quietly lose on the final day of the season. I'm going to throw out a water bottle because it's not going to make any difference to me. This is the last time you're going to see this Newcastle side because we won't be back. How did Leicester do? Smashed. Absolutely smashed. Fair enough. Leicester previously won the Premier League, relegated on the final day. Vind still searching for his first goal. 14 matches for the club. Has he played 14 games for us? What? He played 14 games. Oh, I don't need. Oh yeah, we also got budgets. It's like 38 million for getting relegated, and they did cut the wage budget by about 100 grand, but still, 38 million ish for getting promoted or for getting relegated. Sorry, that's insane. So yeah, that's the end of that. We've failed in our first attempt. It's Blackburn against Brentford in the promotion hunt. Brentford and Blackburn, the two lower of the four playoff teams. Norwich and Stoke both getting defeated. So, will Brentford make it to the Premier League with Reading and Bournemouth? Reading is definitely a dark horse. Did not expect them to get promotion. Also, Sheffield Wednesday getting relegated to League One, only being relegated by 2 points behind Coventry and Middlesbrough. They'll be disappointed because 6 points. They would have been decently comfortable, I suppose, towards the end of the season, and would have been Coventry getting relegated. But that's how the cookie crumbles, and unfortunately, Sheffield Wednesday's cookie crumbled more than the others. Like I said, the Spanish First Division, Valladolid were the team I was considering taking over because they had same points, seems to be less games, and I was like, yeah, the Newcastle one looks a little more interesting because more people will be kind of interested in English football. But yeah, they struggled a little bit more than we did, I think. Because we got 29 points, they only scored 22. There's still a game to play, but they're not going to get many more points. And yeah, poor West Brom, absolutely shit stomped. So that is the end of this episode. Unfortunately, we have failed to save Newcastle. Relegation Rescue, not today. We've relegated them. We didn't do too bad. We scored 20 points in 12 games. We took over with 16 games played. Yeah. No, 22 games. 20 points in 22 games. Yeah, that's not good enough, is it? But we won 4 games in charge. That I'll take. That's fine. So if you have enjoyed this episode, do make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. The next episode on this series will be a different club in a different season. Potentially, hopefully, in a different country. If you have enjoyed this one, though, do make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends, and I will see you in the next one.